Hello students, in this video we are going to cover chapter 17 of class 5th. The name of the chapter is Our Fight for Freedom. Let's start the chapter. In this particular video we will finally gain the freedom from Britishers. Okay, so in the previous chapter we studied about the revolt of 1857. Okay, so in that we did not able to get complete freedom from Britishers, but definitely we created a sense of freedom with the sacrifice of such leaders, which we studied in the previous chapter. Okay, but after this Britishers, because gain more, we can say that complete freedom over India. So this is why they became more strict and harsh for Indian peoples. They started treated Indian peoples very badly. Okay, so now let's see the birth of Indian National Congress when Britishers uh, captured India completely. Okay, so in order to draw the attentions of British government towards their problem, okay, they established Indian National Congress. Okay, so Indian National Congress was established by Indian peoples in order to discuss about the problems of British government and how harsh treatments British government are facing and treated with the Indian peoples, and what are the changes, what are the steps we should take to free with these bad treatments, right? So this was set up Indian National Congress in the year of 1885. Okay, the aim of this was very simple. Okay, to limit when it was started. Okay, that means the aim was very limited, but soon this National Congress became very powerful and very productive. Okay, what they wanted to Britishers to accept their demands, and students, the demands of Indians were very moderate demands. They were, they were doing. They just wanted that Britishers, try to cooperate with Indian peoples and don't treat such harshly to them. Okay, so the first person who developed the concept of making such congress, who will discuss about the problems and solutions of Britishers government, was the Sir A.O. Hume. Clear? He was the founder of International Congress. Clear? Okay, now sessions were held at various parts of country. First National Congress was established in Mumbai, okay, so that they're able to discuss about the problems. Okay, the demand that Indians should be allowed to manage their own affairs. That means they wanted that Indian people's rules and regulations were not made by Britishers. They can manage their own affairs, because Britishers were imposing unwanted, and they only wanted their profit. Okay, they were not thinking about Indians as much they should think. Okay, so they believe that only strong action could make the Britishers officer understand the problems. Okay, otherwise they would treat the people slightly and would treat harshly to them. Clear? So the strong opinion who was having in that Congress was Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lal Lala Rajput Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal. Okay, these three peoples were having a strong opinion about Britishers, about Indians, about Indian freedom. Okay, these three leaders had a great vision of India, so they are also known as Lal Balpal. Clear? In the history of India. So some of the prominent Congress leaders, that means there were also very prominent leaders other than three. These are Banerjee, Dadabhai Narojri, S.N. Banerjee, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Barundar Tayabhaiji, and G. Subramania Iyer. Okay, so Bal Gangadhar Tilak strongly opposed the Britishers. Okay, they strongly had a vision of India, where India is not bounded by Britishers. Freedom is birthright, and I shall have it. Okay, that means this was the belief of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, that freedom is a right of everyone. This should not anyone can seize it. Okay, so he wrote against the Britishers in his newspapers. Okay, he wrote against Britishers in a newspaper which is Kesari Maratha, and because of this he arrested so many times. Okay, that means they are doing that thing due to which they can be arrested, they can be beaten, but still they were stepping towards the freedom of India. Clear? Next, divide and rule policy of the British. Okay, so right now we have studied that Britishers were treating harshly and strictly to Indian peoples, and on observing these things, Indians started establish a society whose name is Indian National Congress. Okay, and there were so many leaders who had a strong opinion about freedom of India. Okay, now we are studying about divide and rule policy of the British and how they were treated with India. Okay, so when British government considered that it was impossible to govern more over India, it followed divide and rule policy. The first step was to divide the Bengal into two parts according to the religion. That means they tried to they tried to they were trying to separating Indian people. They were trying that people fought between themselves and don't think and don't have a broad vision that India should be free. Okay, that means they were trying to fought Indian peoples to Indian peoples. Okay, that means they separated Bengal into two categories, that is one of Muslim and the other one of Muslim, so that Hindu Muslim fight each other and don't think about a broad vision of India. Okay, so this was a very smart technique which Britishers follow. Okay, and by separating Hindu and Muslim, definitely this partition was opposed by both Hindu and Muslim, but still this was done by the Britishers. Okay, next, the Swadeshi movement. That means this was the step taken by Britishers. Now what India do in oppose of that? So Indian leaders started the movement against the British government. Okay, so what Britishers made clothes, garments, articles were burned to ashes in many places collectively. That means Indians handled the situation very smartly. What they did, they stopped using the Britishers' products. They burned them into ashes. That means they will not use any Britisher product anymore. They will use their own products, own handicraft. Okay, along with this, people forbade to buy any item in England. That means they were not buying any item bought in England, and they refused to buy anything which is from Britishers, from England and out of country. They will start using their own products. Okay, and this movement is called Swadeshi movement. Although this movement was not as much successful because they have very limited resources, but still this was the first step taken by the Indian peoples against Britishers. Thus, Britishers government believed that itself. It to be uprooted from India. Clear? Now in this movement, the students left the school. That means not even they avoided the use of British products. Students, teachers, lawyers, and everyone stopped using the property of British government. That means teachers stopped going teaching, students stopped going schools, lawyers stopped attending the courts and everything. That means people stop participating in the activities of British government. Okay, this made British government huge loss. Okay, the whole country was awakened by this movement. That means the entire country had a vision of freedom India. Okay, the British got troubled in facing determined Indians. The government had to accept defeat and abolish the partition of Bengal in 1991. That means this step became a good visit for Indian peoples. Okay, although this was not as much successful because Indian peoples did not have their own schools. Okay, at that time there were very limited Indian schools, so this idea was also not as much long followed. But still, this was good step to taken to make the Britishers realize that you cannot rule over us completely. Okay, now we have Gandhiji leads the nation. Okay, so in 1915, Mohanchand Karamchand Gandhi returned to India from South Africa. With this began the last phases in struggle for independence. Okay, so till now we have studied that the first step taken by the Indian peoples was Swadeshi movement against Britishers. Okay, now after that, when Mahatma Gandhi ji came to India from South Africa, where he fought against the racial discrimination between whites and blacks, where white treated brutally with black persons. Okay, this is also again a very long story, but yes, they fought against this racial discrimination over there. Okay, now Gandhiji came to India, and there he led Satyagraha movement to help the peasants of India. Okay, first movement which he took was in Champaran, Bihar. Okay, and then Amritsar. Okay, so this was the time period. So this was the beginning. That first from peasants, and then gradually they started fighting for the freedom of entire India from Britishers. Okay, so they strongly believe on the on this term which is Satyagraha. Okay, so what does Satyagraha mean? Satyagraha talks about truth and non-violence. Okay, which means they strongly believe that non-violence should be happen for any battle. Okay, they did not believe of killing someone, beating someone. They completely believe of Satyagraha, which says about peace, non-violence, truth. Okay, this was the ideology behind this term. After return to India, Gandhiji traveled to many places. He saw that people were very poor and were being treated badly by the Britishers. He decided fight against the Britishers' rule, also against the bad customs and society. He asked people not to follow unfair rules made by the Britishers. That means he was convincing the peoples of India that not to follow this harsh treatment and not to cooperate this harsh treatment of British government. Okay, Now we have revolutionary movements. Besides the peaceful movement, that means Gandhiji were following Satyagraha in India, okay, which is a peaceful movement. But despite this peaceful movement, many revolution movements were going on. Okay, and some examples of Ram Prasad Bismil, of Ashfaq Ullah Khan, Roshan Singh, Rajendra Lahiri, Chandrasekhar Azad, Surya Sen, Jatin Das, Badal Gupta, Udham Singh, Bhagat Singh, and etc. Okay, you don't have to learn all the names of these. Okay, now this is Jallianwala Bagh. This was the turning point. Okay, this is really a very important incident. Okay, to learn. So on 13 April 1919, the General Jallianwala Bagh, in the place of Jallianwala Bagh, which is in Amritsar, many innocent women, children, and men came to attend this greeting meeting. Okay, the British officer General Dyer came with his soldiers and ordered the soldiers to fire. Okay, so the soldiers of Britishers blindly fired at this massacre where so many crowd was gathered. Okay, where some innocent peoples and some revolutionaries who were doing satyagraha against the Britishers were also came. Okay, where many men, women, and children were killed, many were injured, and many were wounded. Okay, so this was a very harsh, order which was by British officer General Dyer. Okay, so the question comes, why General Dyer did this? Okay, so this was the step against the British officers because Indian peoples were doing satyagraha to maintaining to make India free with this harsh treatment. Okay, so this was the step of General Dyer which he took, and in order to this, he said that we will treat Indians like this if he will go against of us. Okay, so this was really the harsh movement which made Indian peoples very angry and very aggressive with us. Okay, so with this, this made the non-cooperation movement. Gandhiji launched the non-cooperation movement, that don't cooperate with Britishers. Okay, earlier Gandhiji was saying that don't break any law. Okay, earlier Gandhiji was not in non-cooperation movement. They were saying that don't break law, follow all the rules of Britishers, maintain satyagraha, don't create any non-violence, don't create any violence. I'm sorry. Okay, but now with this Jallianwala Bagh incident, Gandhiji said that break the laws openly. Okay, don't scare anyone, break the laws peacefully. Okay, don't create non-violence, break the laws peacefully. When don't create violence, break the laws peacefully. Okay, and but with this, Indian peoples did Chori Chora movement. Okay, this was also a very harsh and violent movement where Indian peoples killed 22. They set a fire. They set a fire for a police station where 22 policemen died. Okay, so this made British was so shocked with this incident because their 22 policemen has died because of fire was set up by Indian peoples. Okay, but Gandhiji was very strongly believe in the ideology of satyagraha. So Gandhiji, withdrew the movement immediately. They said that no. After Chori Chora movement, they said that no violence would be created. I stopped this non-cooperation movement. Clear? So during the non-cooperation movement, leaders such as Rajendra Pradhan, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Sarojini Naidu, Raja Gopalchari, Maulana Azad, Chittaranjan Das, Motilal Nehru, and Jawaharlal Nehru participated actively. Okay, but this non-cooperation movement was banned after Chori Chora. Okay, after this, Simon Commission came. Okay, so the British government decided to make some changes and appointed the Simon Commission. Okay, so British government was realizing that Indian peoples are actively trying to go against with us. They are not cooperating with us anymore. Okay, so this is why they did some changes. Okay, they created a Simon Commission. Okay, but people actively restricted this because in Simon Commission the biggest problem was there was no Indian member, all the members of British commissions. Okay, so this was the aggressiveness in people that if you are making laws for Indians, then why no any Indian people is included in this. Okay, so Indian peoples completely regarded this because there was no Indian in the commission. Okay, the Congress decided to boycott it. The commission came to India in 1929 and was greeted with the slogan Simon Go Back. That Simon Go Back slogan was moving on because people were protesting against the Simon Commission. Okay, a new group of revolutionaries such as Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev, Chandrasekhar Azad, B.K. Dutt also became active at this time. Okay, so that means these leaders also participated in this Simon Go Back Commission. Okay, one more thing, Gandhiji was not here because this was the trick of British government that Gandhi took Gandhi ji to attend some meeting, okay, but that was useless. Okay, so there's a long story behind it. Okay, we are just studying broadly these things. Okay, so civil disobedience movement in December 1929, the Congress demanded Purn Swaraj. Okay, so let me explain you more deeply what happened here. British government saw all these, all these. Things and observing that Indian peoples, trying to will make the British governments out of country, right? So British government tried to capture India with the ideology that we will give you half freedom, okay, and due to this half freedom, Indian will agree with it, and British will stay in India like this, okay, because they were observing that we will not, that Britishers were not able to rule over India if such revolutionaries will such actively revolt with Britishers, okay. So he tried to give half freedom to Indian, but Indians completely said that Gandhiji was not in favor. In fact, some other leaders were saying that at least attend half freedom, at least accept these proposals. But Gandhiji completely refused that we will not attend this half proposal, and we want Purn Swaraj. That means we want to we want freedom of complete India. You had to go back with our country. Okay, so he was saying that Britishers has to leave this country. We want Purn Swaraj. Okay, so the civil disobedience movement began in early 1930 under the leadership of Gandhi ji. Okay, he started with the Dandi March. That means British government were not accepting this proposal that we will give you half Swaraj, not Purn Swaraj. Okay, so what Gandhi ji did, he studied from England, so he had a lot of knowledge as well. So he did Dandi March. Okay, so this is also very important. He did Dandi March. What he did, salt was very expensive at that time. So what he was doing, he went to Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi with his followers. Okay, initially there were less followers, but soon followers were added in this journey. Okay, Gandhiji made salt and broke the salt road. That means Gandhiji made salt to Dandi, because at the place of Dandi he made salt, and this is how salt became very cheap, and the movement soon spread to other parts of India. Okay, this was the very biggest achievement of Indians when he created salt by his own. Okay, next we have Quiet India movement. Okay, so in 1942, Gandhiji asked the British government to quiet India. He told people, do or die. Many leaders were arrested, but the movement continued. Okay, so this was the final movement when Gandhiji asked final question to Britishers that would you leave India or not, and he convinced people, he motivated people that this is a matter of do or die. Either you will win or lose the freedom of India. Okay, many people were arrested, died, but the movement was continued. Clear? Next, we have Indian National Army. Subhash Chandra Bose was a great leader of India. He organized the Indian National Army, that is Azad Hind Fauj. Fought against the English. He gave the slogan Jai Hind and Delhi Chalo. Okay, this is a very famous movement where Azad Hind Fauj, okay, where he fought against the Britishers and he gave the slogan to people so that people became actively motivated in the journey. He gave the slogan Jai Hind and Delhi Chalo. They were going to Delhi. Okay, next, India became finally free. After the Second World War in 1945, the English government agreed to leave India. However, it was decided to divide the country into India and Pakistan. That means Britishers was finally leaving the India, but with this he separated India in two parts, that is Pakistan and India. Okay. On 15 August 1947, India became an independent country. On this historic occasion, Jawaharlal Nehru said a beautiful line, that is, at the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleep, India will awake to life and freedom, because they all have struggled so much to, explore this movement. Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of India. Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first President. With this began a new phase in the history of India. Now we have completed more than 6 decades of freedom. In these years, India has fought and won many wars to guard her freedom. Okay, so we have passed 6 decades of freedom. We have studied at what sacrifices our freedom leaders has done to make our India free. So we have to respect our country. I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you.